Howdy folks, Greyhawk 4x4 coming at you again, your resident vintage gamer. Today we're going to have a gaming vlog. We're going to talk a little bit about paper and pencil role-playing games, specifically the Pathfinder group that I'm in. We're going to talk a little bit about the adventure that we're going through and a very interesting session of true role-playing that took place. And I'm also going to talk a little bit about computer games that are going on, games that I'm playing, and so forth. So strap yourselves in and let's go. Okay, to start off with, I've got a. This is specifically going out to somebody who, and I'm guessing is female, said that I need to do a better job of looking at the camera instead of looking at the screen, because, as she put it, it looked like I was constantly staring at her boobs. So I have been accused. I told her, I commented, I said I have been accused of that in real life many times, but I've never been accused of doing that digitally until now. So I will make an effort to look more at the camera instead of at the screen. But I can't make any promises because old habits are hard to break. So, to start off with, every other week I go to a Pathfinder game. And we have been in this group for almost a year. Oh no, wait, I take that back. No, it's been longer than a year because I've been in my D&D group here for a year. So it's been over a year that with my Pathfinder group. And quite a few of the people in the group are the same people. We've changed out a few people that other people have quit and so forth, but the core people are still there. So it has become a very stable group, and we do have a lot of fun. There's no real drama, you know. Everybody seems to get along, and it's a good group. So this last session, the reason that I felt it was important enough to talk about on video was this was one of the truer role-playing experiences that I've ever had. And I've had a lot of, you know, paper and pencil role-playing game. Many years of this. So I thought I'd share it with you guys a little bit. To put it into context, so the people, the characters that are involved in the story, because we had split the party. A couple party members were doing one thing and the rest of us were doing something else. So what you need to know is that there's a guy who plays a female barbarian, half-orc, female half-orc barbarian. There is a woman in our group, actually the host, and she plays a sorceress, I should say. And then we have another guy who is currently playing an alchemist, and he is a tiefling, the race of tiefling. And I play a dwarf ranger. So in this group, because we were split, there was the four of us. There was the barbarian, there was the tiefling alchemist, there was the sorceress, and myself. We had just left a town that we were doing kind of a resupply thing and healing and all that stuff before moving on to our next destination as part of our quest. And in the town, the guy who plays the female barbarian, he had said that she had a companion, kind of a hireling or a man-at-arms or whatever you want to call them, that she had for quite a while, who had in the not too distant past had been killed in our campaign. And she was, or I shouldn't say killed, the man-at-arms was banished to another plane of existence. And of course, that's just as good as dead because he's gone. So she was playing the character of the barbarian. The barbarian is upset and depressed about losing her companion. So he decides that she is going to seek out self-medication, and specifically looking for opium. And she's able to find it in this town that we're in. Bottom line is the barbarian gets hooked on opium and heroin, whatever you want to call it. So that's what the DM rolls some dice, makes some determinations, and says, yeah, you are addicted at this point. After some time had passed. So now we are traveling to our next destination with a barbarian who is showing the signs of addiction and withdrawals. And so I do, the DM has me do a perception check. I do a perception check, and he says, yeah, you notice that there's something wrong with the barbarian. So I say, okay, and he says that you know something's not right, and you're not sure if it had anything to do with, her recent drug use, with opium and all this other stuff. And I said, well, let me do a knowledge nature check, because as a ranger, would I have in my time out and about, would I have ever come across what we would consider addiction, withdrawal, and all that? So he has me do a knowledge nature check, and I pass it. So he says, yes, you have seen this before. You know that it's the signs of withdrawals that have something to do with the opium that she has been smoking or whatever. So at this, we decide to camp or whatever, and I go to the sorceress because, based on past events, I don't really trust this tiefling alchemist. He has done some sketchy shit in the past. I've never quite been able to put my finger on what he's doing, what he's up to, but I've never trusted him. So I talk to the sorceress, who I do trust, and I say, here's the deal. I recognize this. I know what this barbarian is doing. It's going through withdrawals and so forth and so on. And she says, okay, she agrees. My idea is we need to restrain the barbarian and take the dope away, and basically let her sweat it out and get it out of her system and cold turkey. That's my plan. So we do that. She casts Hold Person on the barbarian. We tie the barbarian up, take the barbarian's stuff, including the drugs and everything else, put it over to the side, and the plan is we're just going to wait it out. And, let the barbarian, if the barbarian goes into rage and breaks out of the restraints or whatever, she'll cast Hold Person again, blah, 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 and we'll just wait this thing out. Solid plan. Now, here's where the role-playing truly comes in. So, the alchemist says, all of a sudden says to the barbarian, hey, what would it be worth to you if I let you free? If I free you? And I overhear this, and the actual players at the table, at the other end of the table, are now whispering to be for realism, because we're at the other end of the table where we can't really hear what they're saying. All I heard was, hey, what is it worth to you if I release you? So I say to the sorceress, I say, hey, there's some scuttlebutt going on over there. That damn alchemist is up to no good. I think he's thinking about releasing it. And just about that time, as I'm talking to the sorceress, he's already decided, they've already come to an agreement, and he releases the barbarian. And the DM is refereeing this. And so I say, son of a bitch, he just let the barbarian out. So the sorceress, thinking on her feet, she casts Hold Person on the barbarian again to protect us. And I cast, as a ranger, I have some spells. I cast for both of them, and I can't think of the name of the spell, but it basically causes any foliage around it to become thorny and very difficult, entanglement type of a deal. I don't think it's entanglement, but it's something along those lines. And basically we're just trying to hold them because we know the barbarian's going to flip out because the barbarian's at full withdrawals and is going to go into rage. And none of us want that. So we're thinking we can restrain them, try and talk to them and everything else. And then the alchemist says, to hell with this. And oh, I take that back. And in order to release the barbarian, what the alchemist did was he gave the barbarian a potion, let the barbarian drink a potion from his hand, which was a potion of growth. So the barbarian grew and burst out of. So not only were we worried about having the barbarian go into rage, we had a giant barbarian now that's going to go into rage. And then, so once I decide, we cast these spells and everything, the alchemist decides, to hell with this, I'm going invisible. Wham! Slams an invisibility potion. So the other thing that we have is the sorceress has a pet dragon that she's raised from an egg. And it's a young dragon still and everything else like that. So the dragon has very high intelligence. The dragon is able to ascertain the what's the word I'm trying to find here? The general area of which the alchemist, where he's at. He's gone invisible, but the dragon kind of is pointing out, saying, I think he's right in this area. So I take a couple shots with my bow to try and find him, and I even with a 50% miss chance, I nail that son of a bitch. So now he's hurt, and we've got the barbarian restrained, or held, and everything. And we decide to start dialoguing to try and calm this situation down. And so the alchemist says, hey, I was just trying to help him and everything. I said, no, you need to be helping the group. The group, what's best interest of the group was to get this barbarian off the dope so that she would be effective in battle. We can't have her going into withdrawals in the middle of a big fight, and so he agrees to, reconsider and do what the group wants and so forth and so on. And we come to an agreement that if we release the barbarian and allow him to give the barbarian small doses of whatnot, that's what he wants to do. He wants to give the barbarian small doses to kind of wean her off or whatever. And I basically throw my hands up and I say, I don't give a shit what you do. All I'm telling you is it's not my responsibility at this point. We tried to do the right thing. You circumvented us. It's on you now. So I'm going to leave you up to whatever you want to do with the barbarian. It's up to you. But we tried to do the right thing. So we, that she releases the barbarian. He comes back out of out of invisibility and everything. And he's wounded, of course, from being shot by me. And so I've now gone like this. I'm like, okay, whatever. It's all on you. But it's your responsibility now. So, and I said, this is going to be bad. I'd already warned him. I said, this is not going to go well. So, he decides to give, the barbarian at this point is saying, hey, I need my drugs. I'm freaking out here. I need my shit, And so he decides he's going to give the barbarian just a small dose and tell the barbarian it's a full dose. So he does that. He gives the barbarian what the barbarian thinks is a full dose of opium to come down out of these withdrawals and everything. And the barbarian instantly notices, he rolls, the DM has him roll something or whatever, and basically it's perception or whatever, and the barbarian's like, the DM says, no, you don't buy this. It's not a full dose. You don't feel right. It's, and so the barbarian, this is the best part, the guy playing the barbarian is like, it really is that way. So I know right off the bat that he's trying to give me some little bullshit amount, instead of my regular, and the DM's like, absolutely, and the player's just like, rage. I grab the guy and I punch the alchemist, tell him, give me a full dose, and the alchemist of course at this point is kind of realizing, oh shit, I kind of screwed up. But the alchemist is trying to trying to play his character and everything else and say, trying to convince and bluff the barbarian, no, that was a full dose. Trust me, you haven't had it for a while. That was a full dose. And the barbarian's like, nope, punch it again. Ends up beating the alchemist unconscious. And I'm over there going, you dumb son of a bitch, I told you. And couldn't have went better, as far as I was concerned. And so beats, the guy unconscious, takes the dope, the barbarian takes the dope, whatever, And so I rush over to the alchemist, and I do a heal check, and I'm like, to the DM, I want to do a heal check. I successfully do a heal check. I want to get him conscious again, get him stable, get him conscious again. So I do that, comes to conscious, and I said, I told you, you stupid son of a bitch. And then I just walk away. I'm just like, you can be a pile of goo as far as I'm concerned at this point. You can, heal yourself up, drink a healing potion, whatever you need to do, your voodoo, whatever you need to do to fix yourself. But I tried to tell you, tried to warn you, and you didn't want to listen to me. And that's how that went. So that was just everybody. That was content that was created by everybody playing their characters exactly how they believed that they should. And it was fantastic. Fun was had by all. So I just thought you guys might enjoy that little story there. I thought it was a fantastic episode of just us creating content ourselves, spur of the moment, and it'll be something we'll always remember, I think. So that's that for story time. The other thing that I've been doing is one of my very loyal viewers here, who will remain nameless. He can, if he chooses to in the comments, he can identify himself. That's for him to do. He was nice enough. He had an extra key for Metal Gear Solid 5, and so he gifted it to me. And I've been playing Metal Gear Solid 5 on PC, and it was originally very frustrating for me to get the UI down and get the controls down and everything, because it's a port. It's a console port. But once I did, and once I figured everything out, and I could remap everything the way I wanted it to, there's certain things can't be, but the things I could, I did. And I finally got it down, the mechanics down. And it is an amazing game. The depth in this thing to do everything from field missions, and there's resources that you need to gather while you're on missions, because you're building a base, or rebuilding a base, I should say, and that does everything that you could imagine. They have a new system for extraction, to extract hostages and other things. I don't want to give too much away, but anyway, so yeah, that's fantastic. It's just a fun game, and so I really want to say thank you to the guy. He knows who he is that gifted me that. I really appreciate that, and it's not going to waste, because I am playing and I'm having a good time. So we're going on 19 minutes here, so very long video. But I thought it was worth it to share that story with you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope I did a better job of looking up the camera. I don't know whether I did or not. I remember looking up a few times at the stupid blue light. But anyway, we'll catch you guys on the flip side.